Hey gamer friends, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Josiah, and
And
we
we
are
are
ready
ready
to
to
roll.
roll.
It is time for our 20 to 11.
Yay, these are the good games.
It's getting close.
It is. I will have to say real quick before we get started that we have new baby chicks that are right here next to us. And so if you hear them in the video, that's why. We
Yep.
do have a little farm for those of you who don't know. And so this is just part of having a farm is that we have baby chicks sometimes inside.
It is. Should we just get right into it?
Jump right in. Well, should we? Okay, because not everybody may have seen our previous
That's true.
videos. So we should maybe talk about how we made our list.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so we both used PubMeeple to make our list. All of the games that we have ranked in BGG got pulled over, and we kind of went through PubMeeple and had to go through those where it gives you two options and you pick one.
My top 50 was pretty close. I think I've only made one adjustment.
Okay.
You had to make a few adjustments.
A few, but not very many.
Not very many. It does a good job.
It does.
Yeah. That's how we made our list.
And these are the games that we like right now. We didn't have any type of rules that said that we had to have played a game a certain number of times. Right. We just kind of went by how we feel in the moment. So sometimes it's like a game we've only played a few times, and then sometimes it's a game we've played a ton of times. And so it's just what we like right now.
That's right. And it's likely to change in the future, right? And so this isn't a set in stone list, but it's as it is right now.
That's right.
And so if you haven't already, go check out our previous videos in this series, the 50 to 41, 41 to 31, or 30, and then 31 to 20.
Wait, I think you got that backwards, but yes.
Yeah, I don't know what I said, but yeah.
You know what we're saying.
Go check out our previous videos in this series to see what we've ranked to this point. But today is 20 to 11.
Yes. And I don't remember which one of us started the last list. Do you?
I think it was you.
Okay, so you start this one?
Yes.
Okay.
My number 20 game of all time, as of right now, is Taverns of Tiefenthal.
Okay, I wondered when this would be on your list.
Yes, that's pretty high.
It is really high.
I love this game a lot. It has some really fun mechanics that I really enjoy. The drafting of the dice and then changing, like you have to switch the coasters to the next player, and then the next player's coaster comes to you. You have to draft one of their dice, and so it's like this turntable of dice that you get to pick from, and it goes on your board to determine what actions you can take on your board.
Right.
And it's just really, really fun. And then there's, the victory point track that once you get to certain points unlocks things for you, other things to do. And so there's another part of it that's you're bringing in patrons, I guess. You're seating patrons in your pub, and then they allow you to do things like get money or things of that nature.
Basically, that part's like a deck builder. You're building up your deck, and you draw your cards to see who comes out during that round. Right.
And then there are action cards. So the cards that bonus the actions that you already take, you can get more of those actions. And so it's just this really fun deck building engine building a little bit, dice drafting game that is so much fun.
Yeah, the best part of this game is that the board itself can be upgraded. Pieces of the board, so you can turn this over if you meet certain criteria. You get to upgrade your actual board.
Right.
That's really fun. I don't know of another game where you get to upgrade your board. There might be one that I'm not thinking of right now, but that's my favorite part of that game.
Yeah, you flip it over and it's the upgraded side.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just a great game. I can't rank it high. I mean, I can't recommend it highly enough. Go play it if you haven't. It's really fun. That is my number 20 game, Taverns of Tiefenthal.
Okay, my number 20 is Nova Roma. Nova Roma is a game that we just recently played for the first time. It came out last year, and I think it was just a game that surprised both of us a lot. We didn't expect to like it as much as we did. I knew it would be more of a like me style game than a you style game, but it still was a game that I think surprised both of us on how much we really enjoyed it. I love that you get to put your little meeple down and it gives you the 2 actions that you take. And those 2 actions are basically different mini games around the board.
That's right.
And I loved that. I loved that there were chariot races. I love that you could build something. I liked that you could build up your deck. Like there was just
sailing.
Yes, there were so many things that you could do that felt different,
right?
But all of them were really fun.
Yeah.
And so I always felt like I was doing something really fun on every single turn. I don't love it when games, you don't get to have fun on your turn. Like you're waiting to do something, or it doesn't feel like you get to do a lot. And on this one, I just always felt like I had something fun to do on my turn.
Yep. I really enjoyed this game as well. It's like you said, it's really fun to determine what mini games you're going to play based on where you put your meeple in the grid. And because when I first started playing this game, I was pretty overwhelmed with all of the choices that
it has a big setup and a big footprint on the table, and so it feels like it's going to be one of those like really, really crunchy Euros.
Yeah. But it's actually not, because you're only doing, I think, two actions every turn, and it's determined for you based on where you put your meeple.
That's right.
And so it's so good.
Yeah, it doesn't feel near as overwhelming. And we kind of like that medium Euro. Yeah. And so that fit right into our wheelhouse, I feel like.
Definitely.
So that was my number 20, Nova Roma.
My number 19 game is Fromage.
Oh, yay. Good.
Yeah. I actually thought when I was making my list or when I was going through the pub meeple, that this would be a little bit higher. But ultimately, I think it got bumped down just a little bit because I think it's not as replayable a game as I once originally thought it would be.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's replayable. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
It's number 19 on my all-time list, right? So it's really high. But I was thinking this one might maybe be in my top 10, and it just fell out of my top 10 a little bit. But I love this game. The actions you can take in your wedge, and you turn it, and you have to wait for your workers to come back to you. Right. You're making cheese. Each wedge is a mini game.
Yes.
It's so much fun. We just recently got to play it with 4 people.
Yes.
Which was the first time we've played it anything other than 2.
Well, we played it on BGA with 3.
That's true.
We'd only played it in person with 2, so this was the first time in person with more than 2 players.
Yeah, that's true. For me, it's way better in person. Like there are some games that are like, okay, I don't mind if it's in BGA or in person, but this is one for me that's like way better in person.
I agree.
So anyway, we got to play it with 4 people, and it was a lot of fun. It was the same amount of fun as it was with just 2.
Yes.
And so I love this game.
We recently got to play Fromage with Talon and Michaela.
Yeah.
And we got to introduce it to them, and that was their first time to ever play. And it's interesting because, I still feel like I'm trying to figure out what the best strategy is and all of that. And Talon came in and was like, "Oh, I got this." Boom. And he just absolutely destroyed all of us.
Yeah. He's really good at games.
Yes,
he's really good at figuring out the best strategy to win as many points as possible.
Yes, like right away. Like he doesn't have to think about it very long.
Yeah.
And so there's just people out there that are just really good at picking stuff like that up, and he's one of them. And so, he definitely just wiped the floor with us, but it was still really fun.
I had a blast. This game is one that I'm like, the theme is whatever. Making cheese is fine. I don't have a problem with it, but it's not something that like super excites me. But when you get into the game, it's very thematic. It's very realistic in the way that they've played out the mechanics of the game for actual cheese making.
Yeah, because we've done some cheese making, and it's not easy.
No, it's not. But yeah, this game is so much fun. I love it. It's very relaxing to me.
Yeah, it's not stressful at all.
Yeah, and it's just great. That is my number 19, Fromage.
My number 19 is Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game. So it is that big mouthful of a game.
19.
19, that's right.
That's a little bit low.
The reason that it is not higher is because we haven't played through the whole thing yet. But if you went back and watched our review of this game, we both absolutely had a blast playing it. Mm-hmm. You're playing through the chapters of the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, the first book, and you get new characters for each chapter. And some of them, it's like you need to play this character, but then you can choose from these characters to play. And I just really enjoyed that. They all have different requirements that you have to complete to win the game.
Yeah.
And you're working together with the other players to try and accomplish every single person's goal. Mm-hmm. And it was just really fun. It's a fun cooperative trick-taking game. We've talked about it a lot already, I feel like, on the channel because we both loved it so much.
Yeah. The theme obviously is really up our alley. I mean, we love Lord of the Rings. And I've said this in a previous video before, but we've had some misses in Lord of the Rings IP games.
Definitely.
This is not one of them.
No, it is not.
This is a hit.
It is.
Yeah, it hits hard.
But I feel like you would enjoy it regardless of whether or not, like you could, if you didn't love Lord of the Rings, you could still enjoy the game.
Yeah.
It's not going to make it as good, but it's still really good.
Yeah, I agree. But if you are a fan of Lord of the Rings, it makes it way better.
For sure.
It's really good.
Yes. So that is my number 19. The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game.
My number 18 is Dice Miner. So Dice Miner is basically just a big dice builder game. You are drafting dice off of the Dwarven Mountain, and you keep the dice that you collect, and over 3 rounds, and you just get more and more and more dice. Mm-hmm. And at the end, you are literally rolling at 2 fistfuls of dice. And it is so satisfying to me. There's a lot of comboing and things that you can do with the dice that you have. Mm-hmm. There's different things like dragons and meteors that you that can be negative, but also
positive if you
really
have
positive
dice.
If you have the dice to make it positive. There's magic dice that lets you re-roll other dice, and then regular D6 dice that you are doing. That's like kind of mining.
Yeah, you're digging.
You're digging a path, and if you get 1 through 5 in those, it's considered a dugout path, and you get I think 15 points for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's so much fun. There is a bit of a push your luck aspect of it with the re-rolling. It's not really that much, but one of my favorite mechanisms of the game is there are some of the dice have a beer mug on them.
Yes.
And if you get a beer mug, you can roll it, and it goes to whatever it rolls, it goes to the other players, one of the other players, and you say cheers. Mm-hmm. And then you get to then pick 2 dice off of the mountain, and you get to pick on the front face or the side face.
Yeah.
And so it's a really good way to get the dice that you're really looking for. Mm-hmm. And it's really fun to roll a dice to somebody and say cheers. And then, so anyway, I love this game so much.
Yeah, it's actually a really quick game. It's something that's easy to teach and fun to play. So I really like those games. I'm honestly surprised this isn't in your top 10 because you've loved it. But, like you said, you even have some surprises on yours.
I did. Yeah, I did expect this one to be a little bit higher. I'm not sure I expected it to be in my top 10, but probably on the other end of this list of my top 20, I guess. But yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, I love it. Dice Miner, my number 18 game of all time.
My number 18 is Grand Austria Hotel. Grand Austria Hotel has been on one of his previous lists already.
Yep.
It is a game where you are drafting patrons into your cafe, and you have to meet some of their requirements. You have to feed them or give them drinks. And then they will check into your hotel if you have a room open. Mm-hmm. So there's these different things that you have to do. You have to get a room ready for your guests. You have to feed your guests, and then you have to help them to check into their room. And so you do that by drafting these dice that are rolled. And sometimes the dice that you want don't come up, and you can only take the actions of the dice that come up, basically.
Yeah.
And so you're wanting maybe, oh, I really need coffee this round, but there are no coffee dice. So now what am I going to do? Okay, I need to raise this up, go up this track, or do these different things to try and get ready for when I do have coffee and can put these or make my cafe patrons happy. So I don't know. It's just, I love this to me is very obviously dice drafting, but it also is an engine building game.
Yeah, it is.
Because you are trying to do all these different things and make them work together. And I love those types of games.
This game has one of the mechanisms that I really love that that surprised me, actually. It's the dice drafting aspect of it. Mm-hmm. So there's 6 rows, and then you roll, I think for a 2-player game, it's like 9 or 10 dice.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
They're D6s.
Yes.
And then you put the dice in their number. So whatever their row for whatever they have. So if there's 2 2s and 3 3s and 1 6 and 1 5, whatever, you put them in there. And that's what determines the actions that are available.
Yes. And you can take that number of actions based on how many dice are there.
So if there are 3 2s and you want to use that option, then you take the last dice, but you get to take 3 of whatever it is of that action. And so it's really fun. And there's an element of, you don't know what, like you said, what's going to be available. I have this plan, but are the dice going to cooperate?
They don't always do that.
Yeah. I love this game. Yeah. And also the extra scoring that you can do in the hotel rooms.
Yes, they have a way that if you fill up certain colors, because there's yellow and red and blue, and then green can go in any of them. And so if you fill up certain rooms, they give you a bonus. Mm-hmm. And so that's fun too. That is my number 18, Grand Austria Hotel.
My number 17 game is Quest for El Dorado.
It's a good one.
Yep, this is a deck building racing game. Mm-hmm. And there are several maps that you can put together in different formations. Mm-hmm. They're all hexagonal, and you can wrap them up like a snake or like a semicircle. There's all kinds of different formations of it. And each one has on it a bunch of hex spaces that are either like forest or desert or water or other things like that. And then
it's basically different terrain that you have to maneuver through.
You have to navigate. Yep. And then what's really cool is that the shortest path to El Dorado is usually the hardest to get. Mm-hmm. So it'll be like, to get to the shortest path, you got to have like 3 swords or 4 coins, to get to that path. So sometimes you have to take the long way around because you don't have enough of those cards yet. And then there's a market of cards that you are continuously building your deck and adding to it. And
this feels like a straight up deck builder game. Does. And you're just constantly building your deck, making yourself more powerful, and then racing through as fast as you can. And so it really puts the racing and the deck building perfectly together.
It does. It does a really good job of that. And this is one of those games that we've played with several people, and I don't think there's ever been a bad time.
Not once.
Everybody loves the game that has played this.
Yes.
It is always a hit. That's why it's number 17 on my list, because it is just so much fun.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
Yeah, so Quest for El Dorado, number 17.
My number 17 is Too Many Bones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Too Many Bones was a game that we actually bought, several months ago. And it is really, really, really fun. It's chip theory games. And so all of chip theory games have like this little chip system, fighting system. And so you get to play these like cute / quirky little gear locks is what they're called. And you are basically building up your gear lock through the scenario. And you can pick different scenarios to play, and they have basically they're different times or maybe different strengths of the baddie that you're playing. And it tells you like you have to pick this many of these baddies and you put them all, and at some point you have to defeat all of the baddies as you go through, and then ultimately the big tyrant. Is that what they call him, the tyrant?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't been listening to you.
Why?
Because I don't understand.
What do you not understand?
How this is number 17 on your list.
17?
Yeah.
It's high.
That's not high.
Yes, it is.
Not for
it's
this
in my top
game.
20.
Not for this game.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, anyway. Anyway, so the whole point is
a little.
The whole point is to fight all of the baddies and build up your gear lock as you're going along. And each gear lock is completely different. They have a different set of dice, and you have to kind of earn those dice as you go along. And they can be upgraded and different things like that as you go through the scenario. And it's really fun to try and figure out how to maximize your gear lock. I thought this game was going to be really complicated because it looks really complicated. And the teach was long, when we first learned it, but it actually made a lot of sense if you've played a lot of games that battle. And so it wasn't near as intense of a teach as I thought it was going to be. You still look upset.
I can't believe this is so high on your list.
So high on my list? You thought it'd be lower?
I mean the other way around.
Yeah.
That it's so low, I guess, on your list.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's not going to contribute anything because maybe he'll contribute later. But that is my number 17, Too Many Bones.
My number 16 is The Crew, Mission Deep Sea.
Great game.
Yeah, this is honestly a little low on my list than I thought it would be. I thought this would be in my top 10.
Yeah?
But it just fell out.
I thought it would be in your top 10 too, actually.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of good games.
There's a lot of good games.
And so this is a trick-taking game, similar in a way to Lord of the Rings trick-taking game that she talked about just a little bit ago, but it's a cooperative trick-taking game where you're trying to meet everyone's goal that they have been assigned or chosen, and you got to work together to make it all work, and it's not very easy when you get later into the game.
Yeah, because at first they start off really easy, and so you're like, "Oh, we got this. This is too easy."
Yeah.
And it quickly starts ramping up, and you're like, "Oh, okay, this is a lot harder. How are we going to make this work?"
Yeah. So we got to play this with Talon and Michaela, and we spent several hours.
Yeah, multiple days.
Several hours a day playing this game, and it didn't feel like it at all.
No, it was so much fun.
It was such a great experience. This game is so good.
It is.
It's so good, and it's just a tiny little card. Tiny little box of cards, and that's it.
Yeah, you could take it anywhere.
You can. It's so good. I would highly recommend this to anyone.
Yeah, anyone who likes trick-taking games, anyone who likes cooperative games, it's definitely a great one.
It is a massive hit.
Yes.
In those, if you like any of those things, it is a massive hit. That is my number 16, The Crew, Mission Deep Sea.
My number 16 is Sky Team. Sky Team is a 2-player only game. A lot of you have probably played Sky Team. It has become one of the most popular games recently. I think that it is one of the most played games consistently, and I think it's even on the BGG's list of like the highest sold games, like in the recent past, not like of all time or anything. But anyway, Sky Team is so great. We have played a ton of Sky Team last year and had an absolute blast because you are trying to land a plane together, but you can only talk at the beginning. You can't talk once you roll your dice, and each person rolls their dice behind a screen, and then you have to figure out how to land your plane together without talking and just using what you have rolled.
Yep.
There are times in the game where it does let you mitigate some of your dice roll, but for the most part, you kind of have to work with what you have.
Yep.
And so it's trying to let the person that you're playing with know kind of what you have based on where and how you play your dice. And so as we kept playing, we started kind of figuring out, oh, I think he only has dice that are higher or lower or whatever, because we're like, okay, he obviously couldn't play something else here. The more we played together, the more we could figure out what we were trying to do.
Yeah, so there's several sections on the board. There's the engines that you have to control.
Yes.
The balance of the plane that you have to control. Mm-hmm. And
the landing gear.
Landing gear, yeah. There's,
and then you have to I can't remember what they call it, but you have to get rid of the other planes that are in the way or whatever. You don't want to run into other planes.
Yeah, you're avoiding other airplanes in the sky as you're coming in for a landing. We played through all of the scenarios.
Yeah, we finished all the scenarios.
Yeah, they have some expansions.
They have one expansion, and it has 20 new scenarios in it. But we haven't gotten it yet. They were sold out for a while, and then we just haven't gotten around to getting that yet.
Yeah, so she was the pilot, I was the co-pilot. So someday we'll buy that expansion, and then switch roles and play through all of those.
I think it would be really fun.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Really good.
Yes, so that is my number 16, Sky Team.
My number 15 game is Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth.
Okay, I am really surprised this is that high. You enjoyed this game that much?
I did.
I couldn't. Sometimes with this guy, you cannot even tell when he's enjoying a game. I didn't know you liked it.
I did.
Okay.
I did. Yeah, so this is a game that is similar to Seven Wonders Duel.
Yes.
Yeah. And so
it's a re-implementation of Seven Wonders Duel. It's just done with the Lord of the Rings IP.
Right. And from what I've heard, most people like this version better than the Seven Wonders Duel. Yeah, so there's a pyramid of cards. It's kind of a really cool thing where they're all face down except for the bottom.
Well, they're face up and then face down, face up, face down.
Yeah, that's true. But you can only access the ones that at the bottom, and you have to kind of work your way up as you take them.
That's right.
And then there's a little section where there's a wraith chasing Frodo, and Frodo is trying to get to Mount Doom to get rid of the ring. And so they're kind of on a track racing to see if the wraith can catch him or if Frodo can get rid of the ring. And that's really fun. And there's an area control map of Middle Earth, and if you control the majority of the areas in that way, you can win. So there's several different ways you can win. You can win by the area control. You can win on the racing track, either if you're the Wraith or you're Frodo. And then you can win if you get all of the peoples of Middle Earth. Yeah, if you control all the peoples of Middle Earth, you win.
Yes.
So it's really fun that there's 3 different ways to win the game, and you have to kind of mitigate them all. You have to watch them all at least while you're going for one, because in the last game of this that we played, I was worried about the race, and I was trying to get all the peoples to Middle Earth, and I wasn't even paying attention, and you ended up controlling all of the areas of Middle Earth and winning the game that way. Did. Because I forgot to pay attention to that, and so
you were kind of like doing stuff, but you were really engrossed in what was happening here.
Yeah, and
I was just like trying to keep this under control while really going after the areas.
Yeah, so it's so fun. It's so much fun. Yeah. I love this game. It is for sure my number 15, Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth.
Okay, my number 15 game is Harmonies.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So Harmonies is a game that we've actually only played on BGA, but I have played it so many times. I don't know how many times you've played Harmonies.
Probably only a few, actually.
Yeah. Okay, well, I played it a ton of times.
Yeah.
And I have really had such a good time with Harmonies. I know a lot of people out there. Harmonies is the most played game for like weeks in a row on BGG. It shows it as the most played game. And so I know that I am definitely not alone in how many times I'm playing Harmonies.
Yeah, it's popular.
But it's great because you are drafting these tiles or their little discs.
Yeah.
And you have to arrange them on your board based on your little animal cards, and your animal cards will show like how they want things to be arranged.
Like a pattern.
Yeah, a pattern. And so you're basically building a habitat, but it's kind of an abstract habitat.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're building that out for each animal. And then there's also ways to score, like maybe if you have the water tiles like all in a line or something, you'll score more. Or the mountain ranges want to be next to each other but built up and things like that. So there's different ways to score in the game. And it's just really, really fun. I've played with a lot of different people on BGA, and a lot of you out there are really good at this game. So I lose way more than I ever win this game, but it is so much fun. I have enjoyed every single play.
Yeah, I think this is one that I need to get a lot more plays in.
Yeah.
The abstract nature of building out the patterns, I haven't quite wrapped my head around.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I understand, you gotta make the different patterns, but to really maximize it and to get all the bonus scoring and things of that nature, I haven't figured all of that out yet. But it is a fun game, for sure.
Maybe if we played it in person, you would probably know it a lot better.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
He doesn't actually listen or watch the tutorials. He just jumps into games most of the time.
I do watch some of the tutorials.
Some of them,
most of them, actually.
Oh, okay,
most of them I play. There's only been a few that I've jumped in without watching the tutorial.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, so that is my number 15, Harmonies.
My number 14 game is Sky Team.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, really close.
Very close.
Almost a crossover.
Yes.
Or a true crossover. But yeah, so not much else to say. It's just really fun. I will say there are some of the things that they add in are really fun. Like there's one element that they add in a little bit later into the scenarios where you are leaking fuel.
Oh, right.
And you have to mitigate that while still doing the other things of landing the plane. There's one where you have to deal with an intern that you're teaching and different things like that. So
there's one that's real time that's super stressful.
Oh yeah. You have to land the plane in like 2 minutes or something.
I can't remember how long it is, but it is a real time, and I'm like,
Yeah, it does add a lot of stress to it. That's for sure. Yeah. So anyway, love this game. This game. Actually, can't wait and to get the expansion for this and to reverse the roles and play again.
Yeah, I think that would be really fun.
Yeah. So that is my number 14, Sky Team.
Okay, my 14 we've actually already talked about today as well.
Oh wow!
And my number 14 is Fromage.
Okay.
So for all of the exact same reasons that he said, I really enjoyed this game. I will say it is a quick game.
Yeah.
I mean, for what it is, it's just really fast. It's like 30 minutes maybe. And so you can just play it and then you can play it again immediately after that if you want to. And so I just really enjoy that aspect of it too. I wanted to add that into our conversation.
Yeah.
That is one of the best things. It's like, it's such a good game in such a short amount of time.
That's right.
I really like that.
That's right.
So that is my number 14, Fromage.
My number 13 is Air, Land, and Sea.
Yes. I wondered where this was going to end up on your list. Yeah. I knew it would be there.
Really close to top 10.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is basically a card game. There are 3 areas. What do they call them?
They call them theaters.
Theaters. Yeah. The three theaters, Air, Land, and Sea. And you are dealt 6 cards. I think it's 6.
Yeah. It's 6 cards.
Yeah. And that's all you get. Pretty much. There's one exception that lets you draw a card. But other than that, you get the 6 cards you get and that's it. And you have to figure out how to win the game, how to win 2 of the 3 theaters.
Yes.
Each card, except for the 6th card, has an action that is tied to it. So it's like maybe I flip a card in the adjacent theater, or maybe it allows me to, all of my flipped cards give me an extra point or something like that. Just things like that. And so one of the things I love so much about this game is that there are so many shenanigans that are had. And it's just like, I'm making you flip that. And then, now you're going to make me flip mine. And I'm going to make you flip it back. And it's so much fun. If you don't like Take That, do not play this game.
That's right.
You will not like it.
Yes.
But
the whole point is kind of to be mean, not be mean,
Not
but like
mean.
just
Yeah.
to win against the other person, but by doing things that mess
to
them up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I like Take That.
Yeah.
And so this game is so much fun. I love the puzzle of I've got these 6 cards that I have to figure out how to put a winning strategy together with them. And there's some feinting that I've done where I'm like, oh, it looks like I'm going after this theater, but really that's a decoy. I'm really going after these 2 theaters,
Yes.
and things of that nature. So much fun. It's a lot more thinky than it originally you think it is going to be.
For sure.
It's so good.
Yeah. We actually did get the Spies, Lies, and Supplies, and we have not played it yet. We've had it for a few months. It's like on our shelf of shame, I guess you could call it. But we still need to play that. I think that you would probably really like that. I'm wondering like what the differences are. Yeah,
how different it's going to be.
Yeah, so we should do that pretty soon.
We should. But that is my number 13 game, Air, Land, and Sea.
My number 13 is Sea Salt and Paper. This is a great little card game. So much fun. We have played this card game with, I can't even tell you how many people we've introduced this game to.
Yeah, a bunch.
But essentially, you get to either draw a card from the discard pile or draw 2 cards and discard 1. And that's how you teach the game.
Mm-hmm.
But then
there you go. You know how to play.
Yes, exactly. Then you have this hand of cards, and then when you have like maybe 2 of a kind, there are certain things you can play, and it gives you an extra action. Maybe you can draw a card. Maybe you get an extra turn.
Yeah.
Things like that you get to do. There are other cards that give you points based on how many you have. If you're collecting the penguins like I try and do, they give you more and more points the more penguins you have.
Or the octopus, which are better.
Yeah. And so we're constantly like, trying to collect things, get as many points as possible. When you hit 7 points, you can say last chance, or you can say stop. Stop ends the game. Everybody counts up their points.
Ends the round.
Ends the round. And everybody gets their points that they've collected at that point. If you say last chance, the other person or people get one last move, or what do you call it? One last turn. Yeah. And so you get to take your turn and see if you can beat him. And so there's a little bit of scoring there that happens based on if you win the last chance or not and things like that. But it is just so much fun. He says he's seen somebody get 4 mermaids. If you get all 4 mermaids, you win the game automatically.
It has happened. McCoby can back me up on this.
Yeah.
He's the one that got him.
Yeah, well,
he didn't even know that it won the game.
Oh, he didn't?
No, because I didn't explain that because I've never seen it happen. But he laid down his cards and he had 4 mermaids. I'm like, you win automatically.
Yeah, and it's not even like win the round. It's when you win the game. So.
Yeah, game stops over, you win.
Wow. Okay.
But it has happened one time.
We'll see.
In all the games that I've ever played of it.
Yeah. Anyway, we've played it a ton. It's so much fun. So that is my number 13, Sea Salt and Paper.
My number 12 is Marvel Champions, the card game.
Yay!
Yeah, I love this game. It is a deck construction game.
Yes.
And so you have your deck that you have constructed based on a hero that you chose. You are fighting against a villain that you chose as well. Mm-hmm. And they can either scheme or attack. You can either thwart their scheme or attack. Mm-hmm. And there are minions that come out that you have to fight that protect the main guy, the bad guy. And then you lay out your cards that you have to use cards to buy cards. It's one of those games where you have to use your own cards as resources to buy certain cards. And so there's a little bit of tightness there in the resources.
Yeah, you have to like have really good card, what do they call it, card maintenance or card
management.
Management. Yeah.
It's micromanagement.
Yes.
But yeah, you manage your hand and your cards, and then they give you certain actions, whether it's an upgrade or a one-time event or ongoing things of that nature. And so it's just really fun. It's cooperative, and there are some BBEGs that are really easy to defeat. Mm-hmm. But then there are some that are so hard.
Yes.
There's one that we still have yet to beat.
I know.
We have tried 5 or 6 times, I think, to defeat Thanos, and we cannot do it.
I know. We'll do it.
We will do it, but we have not yet. We will save the world, I promise, one day. But yeah, this game is so good. There's so much content out for it. I mean, it could be overwhelming if you're just getting into it. Yes. But once you do get into it, it's really fun to be able to, I'm going to go buy the Wolverine pack, or I'm going to go buy the Venom pack or whatever, so whatever it is, but
just your favorite characters.
Yeah, favorite
you
characters.
don't have to buy everything that comes out by any means.
Definitely not.
And I actually really like that they have those small scenario boxes.
Yeah.
And so it usually gives you maybe 2 heroes, and then it has multiple villains, and you can like work your way through all of them.
Like a campaign.
Yeah, kind of like a campaign. And I love that because they're like small box campaigns.
Yeah.
So you're still giving you that campaign feel, but not in like some giant epic thing that's going to take you forever to play. It's a little cost effective little campaign, and I love that.
Yeah, it's more like session campaign.
Yes.
It's like each one is a little session that you don't have to play the first one to play the last one.
No, you really don't. You can pick any of it to play.
But you can play through it as a campaign too if you want. Mm-hmm. And so it's so good. Just as a note, my favorite character, my favorite hero to play is 1 Doctor Strange, 2 Iron Man.
I think my favorite character to play right now is Venom.
Yeah.
I've played Venom a lot, but I also haven't been able to play characters that I really want to try. So one of the characters that I really want to try is Scarlet Witch, and we don't have her yet. And but I think she'd be really fun because, she's very magical.
Yes, definitely.
So I would like to try that.
Yeah, so that is my number 12, Marvel Champions, the card game. My
number 12 is a game that you've also already talked about.
Okay.
And it is the Quest for El Dorado.
12. Okay, that's pretty high.
Yeah, I obviously like it more than you.
You do, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, just, again, we've already said all of the things about this game. It's just a really great game. I like that it has a different board, basically, that you can play with each time. And you can even make your own boards, your own scenarios. And I really enjoy that. I just love the deck building and the racing put together. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So
apparently, well, I'll say one thing. If Talon did show us one thing in this game
that broke it a little bit.
Yes. Yes. Compass, and there was one other one, the compass card, and I can't remember what the other one was, but it was like he was just drawing cards for days on his turns. Was. Every turn was like, okay, I'm just going to keep drawing cards. Oh, let me shuffle. I got to still draw more cards. He just like took off and was like way ahead of everybody.
I will say when we played that with him, we played one rule wrong. So I'm wondering if it balances it again. Yeah. So I will say that because that was kind of still a little bit early on. So anyway, we'd have to see.
Yeah, we will.
But that is my number 12, the Quest for El Dorado.
My number 11 is Fantasy Realms.
Okay, this is way higher.
Yes, so close to being in my top 10. Just barely missed it.
Yes.
I loved this game. We've actually only played it a couple times.
Yeah, it's fast.
And I want to play it more. I've been itching to play this game more. It is a card game where you have cards that you can either discard or draw from the deck or draw from the discard pile. Mm-hmm. And you are just basically trying to make combos.
Yes, with whatever cards you have in your hand.
Whatever cards you have in your hand. Right. Yep. And so there's all kinds of different combos that you can make in this. And there's so many different cards that play off of each other. I was just like, what is happening? This is such a great game.
It is a great game.
And I loved it so much. I want to play it more.
I know. The only problem with this game is we can't play it at 2.
I know.
If we could play it at 2, we would have played this game a ton. But having to have at least 3 players kind of makes it a little bit harder.
It does. It's very limiting for us. And I don't like that.
That's its drawback.
It is its drawback. That's why you're not in the top 10 Fantasy Realms.
That's right. I think, too, I think as we play it and get to know the cards better, I feel like we could even play it better.
Oh,
because the more
100%.
you know the cards, the more you're going to be able to, know what works really well together.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a lot more to explore with this game that we haven't yet.
Absolutely. So that is my number 11. Could be in my top 10, but not Fantasy Realms.
My number 11 game is Cascadia.
11?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty high.
It's really high. I really, really enjoy this game.
Apparently.
It was on your list.
It was, yeah. It's just not near my top 10.
That's true. Yeah, this is my number 11, Cascadia. I love building out the habitats for the animals. I love drafting the different animals to put them in, trying to figure out how to best maximize my points with that. Each animal card has different configurations that you're supposed to build the animals in. Right. And I like that. This is a game that you definitely win more than I do. And I still love it. Like, it's still my number 11 game because I find it a really relaxing game. It's so relaxing. I don't even have to think too much, even though, I mean, it is thinky. It can be thinky, but I just feel like I can just be like, okay, I'm just going to match the habitats and do the thing. Like, I just enjoy it. Yeah. And I love that in the rule book, they give you like different things that they want you to try. So it's like, okay, put these cards together. Yeah, they have different accomplishments. And I like that because it makes it, yes, it's still just one scenario, but it makes it like different challenges that it gives you to try and make. And so I'm like, there's a lot of replayability with that. And so I've really enjoyed us playing Cascadia, and I don't see it going away anytime soon. And I know a lot of people compared Harmonies and Cascadia, and they're both in this list for me, but I love Cascadia more than Harmonies, and I don't foresee that changing places. Yeah. But I don't think that they're similar enough that there's not a place for both of them. It doesn't feel like you're playing the same game. That's right. I don't feel like that at all, actually. Yeah. I feel like they're very different. I know you're building out habitats for animals on both of them, so the theme-wise is similar. Right. But I feel like it's a very different game. Yeah, I agree. And so, anyway, I really love Cascadia. That is why it is my number 11. That's it. That is it. That's the list so far. Yes. Only one more video to make. I know. It's so exciting. Yeah. That is our number 20 to 11 games of all time, objectively, for right now, for me. As of right now, yes. As of March 2025. Yeah. All right. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And tell us down below in the comments, what are your 20 to 11? We really want to know. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.